way to stop the Biden lunatics and radical leftists is they're trying to cancel out your votes. They want to cancel out your votes. That's what they're doing with Haley. They love Haley because they're going to load it up with Democrats. They're not going to win anyway. They're not going to win anyway. They're not even close. But they're going to load it up with Democrats and independents. And that's not what the Republican Party is about. We love Democrats that want to vote for us, and we love independents especially that want to vote for us. But it's not what the party is about. But you have to go.
You hear that, independent voters? Donald Trump wants you to vote for him, but couldn't care less about you and wants you to know you're never going to be a part of his team, the MAGA team. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. But then again, why would you want to be a part of his team? Why would you want to be a part of MAGA? I mean, here's an example. This is what Donald Trump's doing in New Hampshire. Mind you, he left a defamation federal trial earlier in the day, went to give this speech in New Hampshire. This case involves Donald Trump defaming E. Jean Carroll, who he's already been found to have raped. And now Donald Trump is, I guess, trying to mock President Biden, but in doing so, here Donald Trump continues to slur his words. And again, who behaves like this? Honestly, it's a maniac. Like, who acts like this? A petulant third grade wannabe fascist? Like, what is this? Play this clip.
They're very short, because you run out of octane, You run out. You ever notice you start off, hurrah, MAGA. MAGA, MAGA. Oh, we're going to get MAGA. By the end of the speech, he's like, oh. They say, get him off the stage. He needs another. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to the cocaine? Whatever happened to whatever the hell it was that they had in the White House a couple of them?
And here Donald Trump says that CNN and NBC should lose their license, and here's why.
It was amazing. NBC and CNN refused to air my victory speech. Think of it. Because they are crooked, they're dishonest, and frankly, they should have their licenses or whatever they have taken away. They put on Nikki Haley. She came in third, a distant third, a distant third. And they put on Ron DeSanctimonious, who came in a boring second. Now,
yeah, feeding his supporters in New Hampshire a nice diet of fascism right there. Here, Donald Trump just lies. Everything he says is a lie. But here he says that they had the greatest economy when he was in office. But actually, Donald Trump ran a Herbert Hoover economy. I think Trump had the worst economic record since Herbert Hoover, the worst job since. By the way, right now, we are currently experiencing the longest stretch of unemployment, under 4% in over 50 years under President Biden. Just another fact, but why let facts get in the way of a bunch of nonsense? Here, play what Donald Trump said in New Hampshire.
Under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world, with record low unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanic Americans.
Here, Trump says it's ridiculous that he had to leave the White House, and then goes on to spread a bunch of lies about the 2020 election. Play this clip.
Like, oi, and then I get in, and it goes, psh, we were doing much more than they were doing. But when I left, which was ridiculous that we had to leave, but we had to leave. We have to follow the laws of our land. But what a ridiculous, isn't it amazing? They don't investigate the people that cheated in the election. They investigate the people that understand they cheated and go after them. But they don't.
Seriously, we're in 2024. This was happening in January. He's whining about the 2020 election. As President Biden says, and as I appreciate the messaging of Democratic leaders and those in the pro-democracy community, Trump, you are just a loser. You're a loser. Stop going around and whining about it's just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, man, you whiny loser. Anyway, here Donald Trump talks about the stock market going up. And again, he takes credit for it. It's all, he likes to talk about his fumes is what he says. And that's why he says the stock market is doing good. He says because of his fumes. And again, he repeats that here again. Play this clip.
Be an economic boom. And the only thing that they have now is a stock market that's going up. And it's only going up because people think we're going to win the election. I don't know if you saw yesterday.
Oh, here Donald Trump talks about how Thomas Jefferson, he says, did fake elector slates. That's what Donald Trump is going with. That he did fake elector slates, just like Thomas. You didn't read about the fake electors of Thomas Jefferson in your history books, where Thomas Jefferson tried to do a coup and handed the. You didn't read that in your. Maybe you should have gone to Trump University. Here, play this clip.
Every one of these people, these are corrupt people. These are corrupt. And you know what? Forget about me. They indicted 18 fine people, 18 people like you, in some cases elderly. They signed a slate, just like Thomas Jefferson did slates. They go slates, just like they did to me in 2016. They wanted a slate for Alabama that I won by 45 points.
And by the way, take what Donald Trump's saying there, and here's Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer. He's actually rolled up his sleeve to try to get some deals done. Like the Democrats have tried to reach a bipartisan deal with responsible Republican senators, and they've actually been able to reach kind of broad agreement on issues regarding the budget, regarding ways to address the border and deal with comprehensive immigration reform. But of course, MAGA Republicans in their performative cosplay fascism, they just want to bully. And I think Chuck Schumer says, like, look, in a very kind of calm way, Schumer does this. He's just like, bullying's not going to work, okay? We're the United States of America. Here, play this clip.
So the only thing they can do is bully, because they can't convince, they can't win over people by argument. So bullying seems to be their way to go. Even now, the hard right, amazingly, is demanding that the Speaker walk away from the agreement that the Four Corners made on the appropriations top lines. That's simply ridiculous, as even many Republicans recognize. And it goes to show you how unserious, how incapable the hard right is at doing the hard work of governing. But if the hard right's tactics in the House have proved one thing, it's that bullying almost never works, and it ain't working for them. Bullying didn't work during the default, it didn't work during previous shutdown threats, and it's certainly not going to work now. I hope that both...
And just take a look at what Donald Trump's saying and compare it to what Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has to say, and just take a look at the difference between the messaging of like unhinged Donald Trump and Governor Walz. Play this clip.
When he tells you he's going to be a dictator, take that for real. When you try to lead an insurrection and call people hostages who attacked police officers in the place where so many of us, it's the center of our democracy, we have to quit covering this like it's, well, you know, he said, she said. The facts are pretty much in front of our face. The idea here is he said, I will restrict and ask for a federal abortion ban. Do we want to turn this into Idaho, where women are being put at risk and can't even get basic health care? So no, that's not a scare tactic, and I think Joe Biden's doing exactly right. And it would behoove all of the rest of us, because I guarantee you, history's going to remember who stood up in this time and who said that. You don't have to necessarily agree with Joe Biden, but he respects the electoral process. He tries to not disenfranchise people. He doesn't propagate the big lie, and he's not trying to restrict freedom. So no, this is real. It's not your team. This is not the NFL playoffs and you wear a jersey of one team, whatever. Donald Trump is a threat to the democracy, and there's too many people that are following that. That's why we need to reelect Joe Biden, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Or how about here, Mitch Landrieu, co-chair of the Biden re-election campaign, former mayor of New Orleans. Just take a look at what Landrieu has to say. Play this clip.
And also, the president wakes up every day fighting for average, everyday Americans. Think about this. Donald Trump was born with $1 million spoon in his mouth and probably never sat at the kitchen table. Joe Biden grew up at the kitchen table in Scranton after his dad got fired, and has been working every day to make sure that we put great jobs on the table for folks and put money in people's pockets so they can build generational wealth and have dignity in their life.
And you see, whereas Donald Trump is attacking independence and just acting in an unhinged way, you got Landrieu, you've got Governor Walz, you got kind of just sensible, calm, rational people saying, look, and it's a message to the media too. It's like, media, stop covering this like it's some sports event with like two teams with different jerseys. That's not what the situation is right now. You have Donald Trump up there talking about Thomas Jefferson using fake elector slates to try to overthrow free and fair elections. You've got Donald Trump up there, just acting like just a total unhinged fool. You got Donald Trump spreading lies about the 2020 election in 2024 and can't accept that he's a loser and that he lost in 2020. You've got Donald Trump speaking in New Hampshire after a defamation trial against someone who he's been already found liable of raping. And Donald Trump was at the trial during jury selection, posting over and over again more defamatory statements about his rape victim. So can you stop media doing the both sidesism? This is a deranged and unhinged human being who should be nowhere near a position of leadership. Can we get real and sensible? The American people get it. The American people are understanding what's up right now. And let's give accurate coverage to what is going on. And that's what we'll continue to do here at the MeidasTouch Network. So make sure you're subscribed. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers thanks to your support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Have an excellent day.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.